Hello everybody, you're welcome to my channel, Clear Minds and Self-Healing. Now, my name is Aso and I'm a social worker in the United Kingdom. I have decided to create this forum so that we can talk about all things social sciences related, which until now have become quiet discussions behind closed doors with social workers and families. And sadly, these often meet families late when they're already in crisis, when they're already struggling silently with issues to the point where they escalate to professional intervention. And on reflection, I think that preventative action could have been more useful. I think that if we share these strategies earlier on in life, people could use them to evade those crises or to mitigate their impact on them. So I've taken it upon myself to share my own wealth of knowledge within my 8 years of field practice in this field and adding my education, 11 years of social work practice, to come here and share a topic at a time around domestic abuse, trauma, crisis, surviving the impact of all of those things, addiction, sexual exploitation, depression, and anything that is related to all the experiences of social sciences that we work with families about. The assessment, the planning, the intervention, and most importantly, shifting the mind from a point of you understanding and believing that you can do it, that you can make the change, that you can embody the change, and that you can shift it around in your family. You can heal yourself, and then you can be a healing point for others, your siblings, your children, your partners. So yeah, one topic at a time. And what I'm gonna do is take a topic, talk about it, share it, and then have that discussion with you about. I think we need to bring this content to a wider global population. I think we need to share this content at a point where people are not yet in crisis so that they can use it to prevent the crisis, or they can use the strategies to mitigate the impact when the crisis happens without waiting for people to be heard, without waiting for professionals to knock on their doors and start teaching them. Most often, even when the professionals do turn up, people are scared to open up and speak the truth about their deep experiences because they're scared of judgment, they're embarrassed about what's going on in their lives, and they're scared about the implication of telling the truth because of statutory reasons. What are you going to do with that information if I tell you that I'm struggling, if I tell you that I'm drinking, if I tell you that I'm beating my children up? What are you going to do with that information? So people hide behind the pain, and then they carry on doing the things that they're doing until it gets to fatal points. So if I put the information out here, no questions asked, no one is knocking on your door, you can just sit in your living room and listen to this and make some changes in your life. People drink because they're suffering. There's a lot of challenges in the world. People are hurting, people are struggling, and the inability to cope is coming out in explosive anger, it's coming out in hate, it's coming out in their awkwardness around things. They feel insecure, so they feel insulted, so they act out, and then the circle carries on and on and on. People are not just abusive because they want to hurt their loved ones. People don't just stay in bed and feel unable to bring their children into school because they want to stay in bed. But if we share these strategies, if you're able to see the signs, to spot the grooming, the exploitation, to see that your loved ones are being groomed and exploited, to see that your mood is sinking and do something about it before it gets too late, to spot the signs of abuse and differentiate it from love, and to spot those things before they get to crisis point. Maybe you can do something about it quietly without having to own up to those crises to loved ones. The second thing is, I want us to start talking about these things by acknowledging that we are struggling, by acknowledging that the world is difficult, is impacting on us, by acknowledging that this is happening to way too many people than we care to acknowledge. maybe people will be more open to talk about it, to seek healing and to seek change, and to confess what they're feeling, what they're struggling with, and seek the help for it. So that's the purpose of this channel. We are self-healing humans, but for that to happen, we have to be able to reflect on and be honest with ourselves on what our experiences are, what we are going through, where they're coming from. That's a clear-mindedness. What's happening to you? What was your upbringing? How did that impact on you? And how are you then manifesting that impact in your own relationships, in your own actions, in your own life? Clarify with the intention of moving on into healing and empowered self. That's the purpose of this channel. All topics social sciences related, therapy related intervention methods. I'll be sharing those one at a time. Reflect, empower, grow. So come on, join me here. Leave some comments below on the things that you want to hear about, which are social work related, so that I can look into those and make videos around those. But this is the starting point, and nothing is off limits. We'll talk about everything. We'll talk about experiences. We'll talk about society and how that's impacting on us. We'll talk about family, relationships, addiction, children, everything. And then we can have the conversations, we can grow, we can learn, and we can prevent, so that we minimize the amount of crisis that we are seeing through the front line. So thanks very much, and I hope to be seeing more and more of you in this channel. Take care. Bye-bye.